Off the bench with RASI Sports.
All right, here we go.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Off the Bench podcast with RASI Sports. I'm your host, Ronald Brown. Also here with my co-host, Coach Ron Brown,
What's up?
Coach T, and Coach King.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Woo-hoo! All right. Today, so we have some special guests. We are having today Coach Rob Nieves and Sports Agency, and also special guest Bianca Ramos. How are you guys doing today?
What's up, everybody?
All right. Happy to have
What you guys doing?
Yes, you guys having you guys here today. All right, so I'm just gonna start off here with some opening questions here. For both of you guys, either one can start. So what motivated each of you to get involved in helping athletes and families?
Ladies first.
Okay. So being an athlete myself in high school, I didn't have the resources that we all have today. And my daughter's now an athlete. There's a developing sport in flag football. And I definitely want to make sure that not only I'm contributing to her success, but that anything that we develop, I'm able to extend that same grace to all the other athletes that are going in that sport.
Okay.
And for myself, I played college football at Syracuse University. And part of what I wanted to do with my childhood friend was help pay it forward, right? And we help bring kids over from Africa and help them get scholarships here in the States. And one of those kids I ended up fostering for a year and really got, deep with the AU circuits and understanding the way of the land. And going through that process, I realized that there was influences that probably should not be influences in a lot of these kids' lives, right? So to really protect him, I got certified for FIBA and the NBA, NCAA, to really protect him first and understand and meet the coaches, because he ended up being a top 100 player coming out of high school. And watching that growth in his path, and that really motivated me to get certified. But during that process, my friend, who actually is his guardian, we realized other parents were in the same situation as us, right? Because keep in mind, the NIL started July 2021, right? So that's when the wolves started coming out. So to really protect them too, that's really what spearheaded this agency, understanding that there's a lot of kids in the same situation, even if you were a top 100 kid that we were in. And that really got me involved back into sports, which is, always been my passion, especially since I played at the Division I level.
Well, Bianca, I'm gonna just put you on Front Street a little bit, because I believe your story is a little bit similar to mine. So if you can go into a little bit more depth on how and why you want to do, to help out the community. If you can, and please open up just a little bit, just to let people.
Yeah, so my goal is to obtain all the knowledge and the connections and things like that the girls can use, not just for scholarship opportunities, but NIL, just providing direction. I'm more of like, I'm involved with the girls' sports, but I'm more of like, I'm like a motivational cheerleader. I'm not a motivational speaker. But I think that when you create a relationship, like how you were saying, Rob, with this athlete that you had taken in, I think it's really important for you, when you have that relationship with them, to be a positive impact. And in order for you to be that positive impact, you have to have more than just communication with the athlete. You got to have trust. You got to have accolades. You got to have the experience. You got to have the backing as far as like resources and such. And I think that my goal here is to not only help my daughter elevate in this sport, but just use everything that I obtain throughout my walk with her and give that back to the community and the girls that are growing in this sport, and let them know that it's not just one way and it's not one size fits all, because every athlete brings something different to the table. It could be leadership, it could be athleticism, it can be just your IQ, and you want to use all of that and make sure that they fit in where they are going to excel.
Okay.
Hey, Coach Rob, one of the things that stood out to me when you were talking, you said that you went ahead and got certified with FIBA. And I know, like, a lot of coaches, a lot of coach parents will only stop at just learning the fundamentals and doing the investigation. But how did the FIBA thing, what landed you there?
Look, working with foreign kids, right? I wanted, especially this foster kid, he's like my son now at this point, right? I wanted to be able to provide him with option A, B, and C, right? Because the reality, there's only 450 kids in the NBA, right? And if that doesn't work out, what are the other alternatives? So I wanted to make sure that he didn't go into that next phase if he wanted to even proceed that, right? Like I've always stressed in my household when he lived with me is God first, education, and then basketball, right? Because we all have to lace him up at one point, and he's been given an opportunity to come here to the United States to get a degree, which is bar none, excels in anything that he probably would have gotten in his homeland, right? So want to be able to not only protect him here, but protect him in other areas because it can be just as grimy, right? In that situation as well. So I want to understand that landscape. So now when I get a kid that's under the agency, I can really protect them from high school to college to all the way in the professional level.
I love that. Okay.
I don't look, and Ron knows, I don't look for a finished product, right? I look for a kid that loves the game, but that also wants to grow in the game and develop. And for me, what excites me is not the money. What excites me is watching the kid achieve his goals, whether it's short term, long term, and the money will come, right? But that should never be the forefront. And I know our motto is we're here for the long term money, not the short term money, right? So it's watching them achieve those goals and allocating my resources to help them, whether it's training, development. Because for me, them learning an extra move is just as great as them winning the game, right? Because now it's their personal achievements that they're getting one step at a time. Because this game is not easy, right? And it's getting even more harder with these politics and these distractions, and obviously the financial disturbances that are coming from all angles. So it's our job to really protect them, right? And believe it or not, my approach to whenever I talk to any kid is I'll talk to the kid briefly, but my relationship needs to be with the parents, right? Because that is someone's son.
Very true.
At the end of the day. So we have to be aligned at all times, right? And I think that's what's lacking is there are a lot of good agents, but there's also a lot of bad ones, right?
Much like coaches.
Exactly. So you have to be very transparent on that and just being direct, transparent, and making sure that you're aligned on the parents. And then that kid is going to organically trust you if their mom and dad trust you, right? But if you are on that same game plan as them, the rest should take care of itself. You just saw it on the draft, right? I think the first 10 picks came from two-parent households, right? So that's another important factor in that development of that child. And we just, unfortunately, not everyone is blessed to have both parents in their lives. But even if I could be a positive male figure for that individual so that they're not spearing on the right way, I just feel like that's my purpose that God put me here for.
Got you. So Bianca, I'm gonna come back to you real quick. Like we a lot of basketball heads on this pod right now, but we definitely looking to open up to where it's at. So flag football for women. Like explain a little bit of the politics of like how that goes on with that.
So apparently flag football has been going on for years in the background. It's just now recently in the past couple of years coming to the forefront. It's going to be in the 2028 Olympics. Me and my daughter were just in Cali. She did the USA Select Bowl. So basically the steps to that is like you have to do like a USA Talent ID camp. So that's like a camp where they have you run the 5-10-5. They have you do the 40-yard dash, and they pretty much like a combine, and they do all of those things with the girls as well. They work them out to see what positions they're good at. And then they invite them to these accelerator programs, Stars and States, and they get selected like that. And so she was selected through one of the talent ID camps. She's done them quite a few times. She's done Jacksonville Jaguars QB camp. She's also done the Tampa Bucks Classic, Seasons Classic, which is like at the beginning, like the preseason. They start their season there for high school. My daughter has been playing year round since 8th grade. And I wish I knew about the sport before that, because I would have started her the minute she started walking. But I definitely feel like it's growing faster than we're able to attain good coaches, than we're able to attain more direction, more leadership. There are some really great women that are spearheading this sport. For example, like right now, I've been following Lauren Goodwin, and I believe that they have a program in Texas that just opened up, a school actually that just opened up, and she's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the head coach. She's also on the USA women's team, like football team. While we were in California, we were able to watch the women's face Canada and the men's face Canada. And let me tell you, it's a whole different ball game. The women versus the men. The men, you guys are just athletic on another level. I don't know if you guys saw Daryl Hoosh Doucette. He's also on the men's football team, flag football team. And they went against, what's that guy? Is it, he married that model. I forget his name.
Wow, that's up your alley, man. Where you at?
Yeah, every NFL player marries a model.
No. The model is Giselle. What's his name? I can't think of
Tom
his name.
Brady.
There we go.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady,
Okay.
the GOAT. I'm so sorry. His name was just like gone from my mind, but the picture of his face was in.
It'll be gone from mine too. We New Yorkers, so
And he retired. So.
At the end of the day, but I guess they had like an NFL team against the men's flag football team, and they got cooked. NFL football is completely different from flag football. The rules are different. The field is much smaller. The shiftiness is different. You got to pull belts versus like tackling. You can't, but then also you can't flag guard. So there's a lot of differences, but I just think that the sport is growing way faster than we have the resources to support it, if that makes any sense. I think that some of the coaches that are in this, and not to talk bad, but they want to be a part of the movement, which is great. I love it. It's wonderful. But I think that they're doing the children a disservice when a child comes onto your team, whether travel or high school, and you're not equipped to give them what they need, then you're stunting their growth, right? Mm-hmm. So back to some of the things that you were saying, Rob, you went and you got certified and you did your research and you made sure that he wasn't taken as a sucker. Like you went the extra mile and you fostered him. And I think that that's beautiful. I would love to foster someday. So big ups to you and your wife and your family. But I think that when you want to grow and give back to the community, it all comes back to doing it the right way. Truly, anything that you do right. If you're going to do it, do it right. Like if you're going to give somebody a gift, you want to give them the gift, but you want to make it look nice. You're not just going to wrap it in toilet paper and be like, I got you a nice little something. It's just like, it's really presentation to me. It means a lot. And so that's what I'm looking for is people who are not just in the sport, but what the reason behind it is. Like, are you looking for recognition or are you looking to develop these players? And so that's why I'm trying to find my group of people that are passionate about that, are going to give back and are in it because they want to see, again, like you were saying, the growth of the athlete. And also, I want to touch base on having a good relationship with the parents. Despite them having one parent or two parents, I think it's important for you to still have that relationship with the parent because, number one, you see what their goals are for their children and the goals the children have for themselves aside from what the parent has. And then you could find like a middle ground. And because sometimes I think that parents can sometimes have the higher expectations, but their child doesn't have that work ethic, or the child has higher expectations and the parent doesn't have that belief in their child yet. So it can go both ways, and having that relationship with both helps you cultivate that type of relationship for them to succeed.
Bianca, did you see the Roger Goodell when he was talking about flag football and like integration of women sports on it?
The name rings a bell, but if you can send me the link, I would love to watch that. I probably did. If you want to refresh my memory.
So Roger Goodell is the president of the NFL, the commissioner, right?
Okay.
And he's a girl dad. I'm a girl dad, right? So, and he was getting emotional because he was seeing how this integration of flag football and women's sports is, as you pointed out, is blowing up, right? Mm-hmm. And to answer your questions, those resources will eventually come, because there will be money to be made, right? Correct. So follow the money, right? And if it's an Olympic sport, it's going to come. It's just we're a little early on that, right?
Yep.
And it's going to take large organizations like the NFL or even colleges willing to offer scholarships to create this as a sport at these universities, right?
Yep.
Now, he was getting emotional because he said, I love this game of football, essentially, right? But it is a male sport, right? Now I can share this experience with my daughters because they love playing flag football,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And watching a female be essentially a superhero out there on the football field. So now we're sharing this.
Yep.
But on top of it, it's now a way, and here comes the business side of it. It's now a way to start getting more females engaged in the sport, not just become Taylor Swift fanatics and then love it, right?
Right.
It now becomes a way for females to love the sport more, not only here in the United States, but now everywhere because it is an Olympic sport. So everything you were saying there hits at the right parts. That's what I'm saying. The money will come and those resources. It's just, as you mentioned, it's now catching on, but others have a large head start. But I found that segment of his really cool to watch.
Okay, definitely want to take a look at that.
Definitely send that to all of us, Rob, if you can.
For sure.
Definitely do that.
I actually jokingly talked to my wife. She's like, "Oh, what? Our daughter is about to be 2." So I'm like, I don't know if she could. And I said, "There's always flag football."
Yeah.
Why you messing around? Ciara, when she was younger, when she was going to OCP, she actually wanted to play football. I had to talk her out of it.
That's
when AJ wanted to play.
I took enough
I don't know if you
beatings.
remember that, Rob.
I took enough beatings.
I was like,
I
nah,
love the
those
game,
boys
man.
are too big. You hit my baby, I'm gonna be upset.
I love the game. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I don't know if I would want my kids playing it.
Nah, I wasn't gonna. Nah, that was no. But you're saying, let me ask you, Rob, like, because of course, you help out a lot of people with NILs and stuff like that. Do you see that being something with the flag football as well, or what? What do you think?
What was her name? She's in Mexico. I think
Diana Flores.
She's crushing it in branding right now,
Yep.
and she's like the face of. Correct me. She's the face of the sport right now in Mexico.
She's the face
right?
of Under Armour right now.
Yeah.
My
that
daughter
right
also
there
did that camp, the Under Armour camp, so she's met her as well.
Got it.
And
so, yeah, there's definitely opportunity. That's why I said the money will come, right? But you even look at sports like, let's take gymnastics for example, right? Olivia Munn, right? She's the pretty blonde at LSU. She made millions, right? It's how they position themselves. It's how they integrate themselves in social media. So Bianca pointed out with NIL growing into multiple sports. That's why I would be shocked if they don't integrate women's flag football in more of these universities down the road.
Yeah, it's happening.
There's actually a list of, I think it's called Flag Football Finder, and it has a list of all of the colleges that are now like NAIA. There's some Division I programs that are opening up this season for their inaugural season. Division I, Division II, Division III, NCAA. So there's a couple of colleges that are offering, athletic and obviously academic and scholarship stacking. I'm really interested to get into the NIL field. I don't have really too much knowledge in that, but I do think that, like you said, the time's going to come, the opportunities will come. There are a lot of athletes that I have been following. And on top of that NIL thing, I believe there was a softball player who reached over 1 million, I think in Texas. I don't know where she's from, but she made a little bag, Definitely feel like it is possible. I'm not sure what it's going to take. Again, that'll take time and more resources and research. Yeah, the sport is definitely growing, and I think the opportunity is there.
So let me ask you this, Bianca. So there's a young girl who's looking to play some type of sports. What would you do, or what would you say to try to, I say convince, but give her the opportunity to want to come play flag football? Like, what would you do, or what would you say to this young girl?
Well, first I would talk with them and see if they are athletic and see if that's their nature, like if it's in their nature, because there's some kids who just want to get out there and learn something new, and their strong suit may be art. So you have to have an interest first. There's a lot of different sports, but as far as like flag football, I think that the best thing about sports in general is having that family type of feel. I think that the girls, they create such a bond, and that's the most beautiful thing, is like having team dinners, doing fun activities with the team. A lot of the times the players don't start off great. Like if they haven't been playing and they're trying for the first time, it's easy for them to get discouraged. But when they have that community behind them, uplifting them, like, girl, you got this, let's go, you got the next one, and they're cheering them up and they're dapping them up and they're encouraging them, they're uplifting them, they're feeding them positive vibes. I think that that's really where they start to find their home and they want to give it another shot. But you gotta at least have some type of interest. So I would gouge the interest first and absolutely say 110% flag football. If it's not for you, maybe management and flag football so that you can still be around that environment, but you don't have to, fake like you want to play, but you still want that feel. So
Right.
just being a part of that movement, you don't have to be on the field to be a part of that family.
Hey, Kim, you hear this, right? You got a daughter out there, man.
Yeah, I'm listening. Listening.
So listen,
Too,
I'm a girl dad too, but I also realize I also realize the environment that we're in. Like I've heard this with the WNBA, and I see it with I guess with football, where they're trying to lean more towards like the base nature of things, where they got the girls running around in bikinis playing football.
Nah,
Do you
I think that's something different though, T, isn't that?
I think that changed.
I had a friend who did. So I had a friend who did play tackle football. Matter of fact, I follow a couple girls who play tackle and also play flag. I don't think that side of football is going anywhere. I think it just depends on the audience.
Understand.
Okay, but you
Yeah,
don't
'cause
think that
they
it
do have-
undermines it because it just, to me, it just doesn't seem very
Well,
serious.
Terrell,
Well, it's a difference, right?
Just like
it's a little
just like
different.
arena football, for instance. I mean, that's for a certain type of crowd.
Right.
Because I do know what you're talking about. They have like those bikini.
Like they have the little booty shorts going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend who played quarterback in that environment, in that type of attire. And that's not going anywhere. I mean, just
No.
like Hooters isn't going
No.
anywhere.
Right.
That's going to be around despite whatever sport you choose. And it's all about the crowd. It's all about who wants to be entertained by that type of, I guess, ambiance.
Debauchery.
Really, in lighter terms. But I don't see that being introduced in the flag football world at all. Not right now, at least. And I just don't see it fitting at all either.
Yeah, my thing, I don't see it fitting with that, but I just want to know if you think that it undermines the integrity of the sport.
You got to think about it. Come on, T. Now they always trying to put something out there that undermines every sport, bro. Like, come on, let's be real. Like,
Well, what's the formula, right? The idea of that is that sex sells, right?
it does.
That's it.
But don't be fooled. Those girls are extremely athletic that are playing.
Oh yeah, no, for
But-
sure.
But when you're watching it, their image overpowers their gameplay, right?
Gotcha.
That's why when you look at those clips, you never see highlights of the girl making a diving catch. You see the highlight of either sex image, right? Or of her getting reamed out by her male coach, right? Those are the things that are going viral, right? It's for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. And as Bianca and Ron pointed out, it's a small population that still is intrigued
Very
by
small.
that nature, right?
Very
Mhm.
small.
Flag football is more of an empowerment, right? That focuses on the nature of the girls' athletic abilities,
Correct.
right? And using, if anything, they're using the athletic abilities as a forefront and their personality to be amplified through those social platforms or social channels, right? So
Yep.
that's why it's almost a circus. One is a circus and the other one's professionalism. I don't mean to use circus because what they're doing is physical and it is athletic, but that wasn't the main focus, or times are different, right? Like we are in a very cool and unique times, especially being girl dads on this call, right? That we want to empower and create powerful women of the future. And one does that, the other doesn't, right? So that's the difference between it.
Yeah, to add to that, there are already women tackle teams, and you have women that are fully dressed, and then you have women that are wearing the booty shorts. So it's like, again, it just goes back to the audience. But I think, I don't want to say that it's fitting, but you choose your path. I feel like in the flag world, it's not going to be undermined because that's not the type of direction that they want to take this sport. I just don't think it makes any sense. Like, it's like trying to fit a square into a circle. It has nothing to do, the sport itself has nothing to do with looks or anything. It's all about, it's universal. It's going to a bigger stage. We want to see athleticism. We want to see personalities. We want to see brand deals. We want to see Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. We want to see them contributing to that movement. So I just don't think that that's really I don't know. I just
you don't have to say no more. Don't ask me questions like that.
We're gonna hang up on that one. We're gonna put that one to rest.
Hey,
Nah. Hey, Ron, what you got, baby boy?
All right. So so for both of you guys, so what does leadership look like to you in your fields, or agency and then also sports, flag football?
Am I going first?
Yeah, ladies first. Let's do it.
Okay, so leadership can look different to many people. When my daughter was chosen as captain, I told her, there were four captains. Each of them contributed something different to the team. Leadership can be done with actions. Leadership can be done through words. Leadership can be done through encouragement, or just being the voice of reason and having that, uplifting nature about you, or just being the communicator. Leadership can look different in every way. And I think that leadership for me is leading by action. So I wouldn't tell my daughter to do something, number one, that I haven't done. And I wouldn't steer her wrong without finding out if this is something that she wants. So every so often I check in with her. I'm like, hey, are you still wanting to do this sport? And if so, like, what is still driving you? So I want to know if, number one, you're still interested, and if your answer has changed. Has it developed? Is it the same? Is it mundane? Are you falling in love with a different part of the sport to continue to elevate yourself and continue to contribute to the game? Because it's not just your IQ, it's not just your athleticism, it's your mental. And for you to be a leader, you got to know what you're giving as a leader. So you got to assess yourself every so often. And that's why I say leadership looks different every way.
I like that. What you got, Rob? What you got for us, bro?
I would say in the agency world, there's two things, is respect and transparency, right? You can tell as an agent, they're a leader when they're respected, right? And what I mean by that is the following. They're transparent on everything they do, right? Because there's a lot of shadiness. It's a shady business, unfortunately, because the bad apples, right? And when someone does it right, you'll see that player stick with that agent for the rest of their career, right? And that goes to show you that agent did what was necessary, and they're respected, and they were always transparent and honest with their client, right? When they're not, that's when you start seeing these agents just lose players. And don't get me wrong, sometimes a player will bounce, right? But that's more for the player to look at themselves in the mirror if the agent did those two things, right? Because as I pointed out, it just can be a very shady business. And at the end of the day, if you're just always transparent and honest with your client, nothing's going to come back and bite you, right? And if you follow those same morals and qualities and your player leaves you, then it wasn't meant to be.
Right. Well, let me ask you this.
And you see bad agents, right? You're seeing guys fall in the second round.
Listen, Evans, man, I thought Evans was a first rounder. Like, yo, what happened? But hey, that's a different story.
Right.
To touch on what you said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bianca.
I want to touch on what you said with transparency, because I think that's really important. You want to put in, you want to give, what am I trying to say? You want to put in what you give out. I don't know if you guys are catching my lingo, but if you're transparent and you let them know, hey, this is my criteria, does that work for you? That gives them the opportunity to say if the relationship's going to work or that's not what I'm looking for. So transparency is very important.
You got to lay it out there. Listen, I represent Ron's kids, right? And we've had a lot of difficult conversations, right, Ron? Many difficult conversations.
Hey, man, we had one this morning.
Of course. And never could he come back and say, Rob, you were dishonest with me, because that's just not how I operate. And some of these things that end up coming out of nowhere, he's already aware of it.
We were meant to be together, Rob.
He was already aware of it because I don't hide anything. Although it could be very uncomfortable for myself, right, as the agent, but that's the business we signed up for. right?
Right.
We're gonna have the highs and lows. It's our job to protect the kids on those lows. The
Yeah.
kids and the parents, right?
Yep.
Because like any sport, there's highs and lows, doesn't matter who you are, right? And there's a business side of it. So that's why I say it's like for any agent that wants to get into this is always be honest and have the right intentions for the kid, because at the end of the day, you're a big influence for their future.
For sure.
So for a person like Bianca, Rob, like she has a daughter that's a standout in flag football right now, going to college. And I'm pretty sure it's going to get to the point. I don't even know if you're getting calls now from people or not, agents, so sure. But what are some of the things that she should be looking out for in this process?
So what I always like my sauce, or what I told Ron, I said, what is your vision for your kid? Right?
Mhm.
I need to know what his vision is, and I need to know what his boys' visions are, right? Because if they're not aligned, I got to tell them, hey, guys, you guys are not aligned in what your vision is, and you're always going to have conflict, right? So if someone like myself does approach you, it's like, Bianca, what's your vision for your daughter? Is it to make the Olympics? Is it to get, and it could be something smaller, right? Hey, I want to rush for or catch for 1,000 yards, right? Or I want to set this record. It could be small milestones or large ones like the Olympics. Okay. And then your question to your daughter, do you want these same things?
Right.
Then when you talk to the agent, how are you going to get there? What resources can we do? What connections can we do? How are we going to do it together? Right? Because at the end of the day, it is a partnership between you and your representative, whether it's development, finding brands, or their career trajectory. Right? What happens is the agent sometimes goes off and wanders doing their own thing, and there's always backdoor shit, right? When in reality, that's when you forget that now you're clouded when you're there to represent the kid, right? Even when it comes to representation or brand, it's like every brand isn't a good brand, right?
Very true.
And you can't parts that I try to preach too is you can't oversaturate yourself either, right? Because let's say Nike comes knocking on the door and you have all these brands with, forgive me by me saying this, but all these agreements with these irrelevant companies. And when I buy that, it's like a sock company, an underwear company. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
It hurts your
Nike
daughter.
may be like, but you're not exclusive enough for me. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So even if there's brands, find brands that you're actually passionate about. You're passionate about what their goal is as a company, because you also don't want to attach your IP to that brand if they're not sharing the same values, right?
Yeah.
Ron has done a great job with all his boys, and they're passionate about Christ and Jesus, right? So some of the brands talk to
They don't fall in line.
they're like Christian-based brands that are supportive of that.
Right.
And that's not all, but that's just an example. So it's just like I said, not all brands are good brands. Not all brands fit what they want, right?
Yeah.
And if the devil is the devil is the dollar, right? If that becomes your priority, then you lose yourself in what the main objective is, right?
And I want to add this. I'm going to tell a little bit about us, Rob, with AJ when we were looking to move him. AJ and I, to just piggyback off what he was saying, Bianca, my son and I, we were on the same page that we want to get the best fit for him to go to wherever he was going next, right? Of course, with basketball, it's a little different right now. With football, we're talking about a lot of money. We left some change on the table to go where AJ and I, my son AJ and I, were on the same page, and we went to Rob, and he worked with us because we were aligned. I mean, and he came with a great deal. I know Rob probably want to kid us in the head a little bit, but no, we were aligned. My son and I was aligned, and he realized that we had the same goal and we had the same path on where we wanted our kids to go, where we wanted him to be. And it was a hard decision. I'm not going to say here a lot of you, Rob. I'll be honest right now. Well, we could talk about it now, but that was a hard decision to walk away from all of that. But at the end of the day, we had to do what was best for him, for my son, and we agreed on it. I agreed with him and I support him. And that's the other thing that we don't talk about as much, is that as a parent, you have to support your kid, even if you don't agree with the decision.
Right.
We just have to help them, guide them down that path, and hopefully God takes care from the rest. Take care from there. But we made a very hard decision. But Rob understood because we had the same vision, and he understands what our vision is. And so when you out there looking for someone to help with you on your journey, you got to make sure they align with you. Because if they're not, it's going to make your life difficult.
They should never think with their pockets first.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Facts.
That's the root of all evil, I thought. I was told, right?
And that's all. That's AU coaches. That's handlers. You'll see more of that, right? They think with their own pockets. And you'll sense it. Bianca, I could tell you're witty, you're smart, you'll sense it, right? And Ron will tell you, Ron made me work for a whole year pro bono, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, pro bono. Let's go.
No, but it's we've been able to really extend our relationship into like a brotherhood, and I could generally sit here and say like I love his boys. They're great kids,
Hey,
both
man,
him and his
too,
wife.
brother. We love you too. Trust me.
They did a great job raising them, right? And I got to meet the oldest one. Ron was the one that asked me the questions at dinner that night. Protect his brothers. But was you need to be with someone that's gonna go through the bullshit with you. I mean, so that when you all reach that finish line, you can celebrate together.
I like that. It was very comforting, you guys. Thanks.
That's what we're here for.
Look, I'm trying to create some more discomfort. So something you said earlier, Miss Bianca, you said that what you do every now and again is you check in with your players. And Coach Ron spoke to it in the same vein about being on the same page and doing all that. And for all the coaches and parents that need to or don't know, like how often are we checking in, would you say?
I guess it just depends on how she's been playing, what her grades are looking like. She's been upset too frequently or discouraged. That's when, or if she's been working out nonstop and I'm like, hey, I scheduled another session for you. Like the work don't stop. Like, are you ready for it? Or should I like step back? Like, so I check in when I feel it's necessary to check in. I don't have a time frame. It's not like every 3 months or once a week. It's just I observe my daughter like microscope. Like I'm very all about her. And when I have other players, like a lot of the girls on the team trust me. They call me Miss Bianca. And I'm like, I'm super fun. I'm like the auntie and keep it real with them, but I'm also very loving. I'm very attentive, know their favorite things. I talk to them and I also remind them that their parents are parents for the first time. So it's just like, you might not get the answer that you want from your parents, but just know that it's all out of love and they want the best for you always. So I try to like smooth that over. And I feel like that creates, like how you guys were saying, is a sense of trust. And when I haven't heard from a player that's on my daughter's team, like, hey, how's she doing? Is she enjoying her summer? Are you guys going to plan a hangout? Or, is she still playing this summer? Or is she taking the summer off? Those types of things. And I have the parents' phone numbers, so I'll check in with them. And that's just the kind of relationship that I like to have because that's just the person that I am. I understand that the person I am is not for everybody, and the person that I am is not who everybody else is. Like, I can't expect me out of other people. Trust my daughter with a select few. And so I say that because not everybody's on my level on how I care and how I move. And so with that said, as far as like checking in, you really just got to know the kid. You got to know the player. You got to just put in that effort, that extra time.
Okay. I know there's a lot of folks out here that are a little challenged, but if I could sum up what you were saying, would you say that the athlete's performance will dictate where your check-ins are?
I wouldn't base it solely on that.
Okay.
I wouldn't base it solely on that. That would just be like, because players can have an off day. That's allowed. You're not going to play 110% every single game. And quite frankly, I feel like you learn from your mistakes. When you miss a pass, did you run that route correctly? And so it's a good way to analyze what you did that game. So it's not just about that. It's a combination of things.
Cool, I'm with you.
Let me ask you this, Rob. Because again, we just really getting into this flag football thing here. Like, how many agencies are out there really, supporting flag football?
I wish I had the answer for you. To be honest, I can't even answer that, right? I'm sure there's probably marketing companies, right, that or marketing agencies. I don't know in terms of, you got to think about flag football doesn't have a CBA, right? Or they don't have those things that necessarily require legal counsel, right? But there's probably marketing agencies out there to get the 1% of these athletes those brand deals as the sport is growing. Now, all it takes is a viral moment, whether it's in season or at the Olympics, for all that to change for the athlete, as you guys know, because of the power of social media. But until then, it's just probably, I'm assuming, right? It's probably people on the sidelines watching to see how fast this thing is going to expand.
Right.
And as I say, follow the money, right? More money starts coming in.
Anything that goes to the Olympics is going to be big.
For sure.
Shows up on the Olympics is going to get big.
Dude, just look at the breakdancing. That girl.
Oh God, no! Don't do it to us, Rob. Don't do it.
I'm just telling you, it takes viral moments like that, right?
Yeah.
Although I don't know what she was doing.
I think that was viral for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
The wrong reason. But listen, that I would not be surprised if she had 20, 30 brands calling her.
Right.
You see what I mean?
But on that topic, see, this is the difference. This is the separation. On that topic of breakdancing, right? She's doing something that we don't understand. So like Mexico, Canada, USA, all these other teams, they do things differently. Like when I was watching the men's USA play against Canada, we were looking at these men and I'm like, wow, like they could really just be out here in their 70s and bopping it, like head topping. Like we just don't know. If you work hard, like you're able to continue your flow. Like the whole breakdancing thing, like I was like, wow, this is really crazy. I can't believe you made it to the stage. But then after like doing some research and reading up on it, those are things, those moves are like her, I think it was Australia, right? If I'm not mistaken, or yeah. Those are like staple moves where she's from. So like her people are like, girl, you got it. And us, we're like, what is going on? How did, so there's a
wait, excuse me. I'm sorry. Where are you from again?
New York.
Right. Come on, don't do this to me.
Listen,
I'm sorry. I got to put my staple on this.
But
like, I grew up in a time where we were breakdancing, and I'm sorry, breakdancing is all the same.
Listen,
everywhere.
I used to hang out.
I understand.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I used to hang out around break dancers and I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't know nothing. Get me out of there fast. And that's why I say I can't judge, because don't put me out there. Listen, I'm hesitant when you call me out for karaoke.
Well, the reality is I'm pretty sure she was like ranked top in the world prior to that whole dance performance. So it wasn't like she was.
What kind of break dancing did I grow up on, bro?
Yeah.
But she was ranked in Australia. I do remember that being a talking point for her. But when it comes to the aesthetic, good Lord.
I'm not judging. I'm just pointing out a fact that I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. So my question is for the both of you as well. What is one lesson you have learned that you wish someone taught you earlier?
You take this one first.
Lessons learned.
To go to Syracuse. No, it's not.
We gotta play ping pong.
Have a short memory and have a short trust line, because in our business you can't afford to trust someone too long, right? You'll get burned, right? And once you get burned, because it happens to all of us, once you get burned, you got to have a very short memory, right? Because you can't. It's almost like a bad relationship. You can't take it on the next parent. Right? Yeah. Because it's a completely different situation.
Right.
Like I've told Ron, like there was a situation that I formed a great relationship with the parent, the kid, and the dad is like, you can love everything. We want you to rep our kid. It's just gonna cost you $100K. And I'm like, it's gonna what? But sometimes, who knows, a big I don't know what he's heard, but maybe a big agency comes with a bag and say, hey, let me rep, here's it. I'm a believer, if the relationship starts transactional, it's going to end transactional. Right? So I just had to have a very short memory of that situation and move on from it. And that comes also just people in the circuit too. Like you think you'll have like an agreement or something, or whether it's a coach or whether it's a coach or another individual, and they might just burn you, right? Just to get access to you and your resources. And that unfortunately happens. So again, I'm a believer, if you have the right intentions, everything will work out, and it has, right? Because I am a smaller agency. I choose to be a smaller agency because I like to have my hands and be very involved so that I can oversee everything. I don't plan to be the next CAA or Clutch or any of those guys because when you're too big too, you lose sight of what's important for the athlete, right? So staying small allows me to be nimble, allows me to be strategic of the type of players I want to represent, but also the type of parents that I want to surround myself with, because it does take one bad apple to be a bad influence, right? So
That's right.
that's why I say short memory, and short line of trust. Don't make yourself be a fool too long. So fool me once, but you're not gonna fool me again.
That's right.
Wow,
Really?
that's interesting. Because generally the agents and the attorneys usually get the bad end of the stick, but you're saying that some of these parents can hold some of that criticism too.
You talking about how much money now is involved in college sports,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got collectives and rev share offering kids millions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Right? Millions. Not everyone gets a million. Let me clarify this because I actually sent Rod like the breakdown of like if you're a starter and stuff like that. Not everyone, but when you have millions on the table, people can get funny,
Mm-hmm.
right? Someone's uncle wants to rep them, right? Or where are the certifications?
Uncle
That's
Pete.
another thing, right? You're about to trust those that, okay, sure, they might be a family member, but are they qualified to read through these agreements line by line item? Are they qualified to protect your son so that he's not getting taken advantage of, whether it's from the university or these brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand they may be your uncle, your best friend, or your AAU coach, or whatever. But do they have the certifications to help advance your kid from high school to college to the pros? And I'm going to say 80% of them don't.
That's right.
That's right. That is so true. That is so true.
Do you mind? I have my answer, but I want to answer accurately. Can you state that question again for me, please?
What is one lesson you learned that you wish someone taught you earlier?
2 points: loyalty and growth. I'm loyal to the bone with work. Anything that I invest my time in, anyone that I love, I'm loyal. And I think that to that extent, I feel like at some point it's affected my daughter because I'm loyal because I want to be a part of something for the long term, right? But then you hit a plateau and you're stunting your growth because you want to be loyal so bad, and I think that that's a lesson that I've learned in my daughter's walk, her athleticism and her growth in the flag football world, is that, I want her to understand that sometimes doing what's best for you have to hurt someone else's feelings. And obviously in the most respectful way. I've never taught her to quit. If you start something, like if you're doing something and you commit to that thing, you're finishing it throughout the whole year. And you just won't go back the following year. But so in a sense of loyalty, that's not what I'm speaking of. Like, you finish what you start, yes. But if you start something and you continue with that same program per se, and you see that, you're not getting any more from that program, then you've outgrown that program. You've outgrown those resources. And now you're doing yourself a disservice when you choose loyalty over growth,
Mm-hmm.
So those are the lessons that I feel like I've learned.
I like that.
That's great.
Yeah, I did as well.
That's another question here. So if you could leave young athletes with one message about their future, what would it be?
Robert,
Hey,
hey, come on now.
I would just tell
There you go.
athletes that you're always in control of your future. Not your parents, not your AU coach, you. How
There you
bad
go.
do you want it?
I was gonna say that. I should have went first. No, really, to touch base on that, absolutely. How bad do you want it? And the real work is done. Like, I follow a lot of the quotes that Kobe has said and Michael Jordan. It's like their discipline is unmatched. And Steph Curry, their discipline is unmatched. If you really want to be the greatest, you got to do what greats do. You can't say that you want to be great, but you're sitting at home on your phone. You're not putting in the work. Like, how do you think, if you're not practicing your routes, how do you think you're going to look when you step on the field? Your routes are going to look crusty. If you're not practicing your routes, if you're not running your 5 and out, then you're going to end up running a 7 and out, and the ball's gone. It's over your head. Or it's short, I guess you could say, because you're running
too many steps.
You make too many steps.
Yeah.
So really just having that discipline and that grit and that Mamba mentality.
I would say for these younger athletes, it's you versus you, right?
For sure.
Like a lot of these kids, especially with social media, they want to compare themselves with other kids in the rankings, right? And there's a lot of politics behind those rankings, right? And quite honestly, those rankings are just a distraction, right? So it's you versus you. You're on your own path, and that's why I say you're gonna have to want it. And as Bianca put in, it's like do the stuff that's uncomfortable, right? You don't practice the stuff that you already excel at. You practice the stuff that you hate doing. Basketball, if you want to work on your handles, work on your. If you don't have your handles aren't on a rope, you got to work on your handles, right? If you're not a solid 3-point shooter, guess what? You should be shooting threes, right? In football, sticking, route running, you name it, right? So do the stuff that are uncomfortable, but it's you versus you. Stop comparing yourself to someone that's on a different path because your endings may be completely different.
And to touch on that, you versus you, there's an ethical point to that nature. Is like you're cheating yourself if you're not doing your best, right? And it's to say ethical, I'm like, as a realtor, we have a certain type of image to uphold, right? And so it's really what you do behind closed doors that matters. That's what really shows. Like the college coaches and brands, all that's going to come when they see the work that you put in. And the only way that work will be magnified is what you do when no one's looking.
Yeah, we call that, my kids and I, we call that ghost work. The ghost work is what matters. The things
I like that.
do.
I'm stealing that hashtag ghost work.
There you go. That's what matters. I mean, at the end of the day, when you get on that basketball court, that's when you let everybody see what you've been working on.
Yep.
But the blood and the sweat and the tears is behind doors. You know what I mean? So, I agree with that.
Look at Brunson. Now that we're bringing up New York,
that guy.
That was his dad's recipe. Let's be honest, right? Since he was little, the dad is like, nah. You want to be the best? We're gonna do. Mom said there's 3 things you gotta pick 3 things, like social life, basketball, and school, right? And out of those 3 things, you can only do 2, right? And it ended up being school and basketball. The social life came later, right? So I found that segment extremely powerful, right? As Ron pointed out, this ghost work, like we see the finished product now, right? But that boy was underestimated his whole career. And every stage of his career, he proved people wrong. He proved them wrong, ended up winning in high school, the state championship. He proved them wrong in college, ended up winning 2 national championships. And now he brought us New Yorkers a championship after 50 plus years, right? Just had to add that in there. So, but that's because that's a segment of all the time and hours and blood and tears and that ghost work that he put in with his pops, right? So it's just, but he was on his own path, right? He wasn't even he was a second rounder.
Wait, Keem, are you upset that they won in 5? Were you going for the Spurs? What was that about? I just want to know.
I'm just against Ron. That's it. I'm just against Ron.
Are you a Wemby fan?
Huh?
You a Wemby fan?
Not really.
Okay.
Nah, you know, he's LeBron.
All right, you good in my book then. You good in my book.
You like
I'm still a LeBron fan. I'm waiting until he retired and look for someone else.
No, LeBron's a good player. I like him.
Oh man, Bianca, you gotta go.
Oh man,
what?
This is a Jordan thing.
He's a good player.
No, it's a Jordan thing here.
Listen, Jordan will always be number 1 in my eyes.
Okay, all right, you back in now.
I said he's a good player. Dang, so Steph Curry ain't no good player? Well, now we gotta give credit where it's due.
Nah, I give it to you. But Jordan's number 1. But this dude right here, he's a youngster. He don't know nothing about basketball yet.
If you want to talk stats, he's.
I'm just not changing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. Finish. Jordan. Woo! 23. How about to kick me off this chat?
So with off the bench, usually end with like some closing rapid fire questions. I just want to ask you both these questions here. So what is your favorite athlete of all time?
My daughter.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Good answer.
No hesitation.
Great answer.
I'm favorite athlete of all time is probably Jim Brown.
All right.
Was that question for all of us?
Yeah, you guys all answer me.
Yeah. Yours is Jordan.
Nah, it's myself. No, I'm joking.
Hey, look, that was an uncomfortable truth. We're gonna need to leave that alone.
Too funny.
What you got?
All right. So your favorite sports memory.
Ooh. My favorite sports memory was when my daughter won the district championship. I think that was really special. That season, they changed coaches. There was a new coach, which ended up being her coach for her traveling team. He went from coaching her travel team. 1 second, I'm sorry. Hey, cut it out. He went from coaching her travel team to coaching the high school team because the high school coach had to step down. He just felt like he wasn't fitting the bill, respectfully. That's bold when you can't give the best to the athletes. And so when he stepped in that season, we had a more challenging schedule. And I think we went 14-3. We ended up winning districts. And I think that was a really memorable moment for her high school career.
Right, that's what's up. Rob, you good?
Oh, I got two. I guess my favorite high school winning our first state championship ever. That was the achievement. Made it up to state sophomore year, lost. Junior year, lost to the same team, and finally my senior year we beat them. College would be my most memorable. Would actually be we played Penn State when they had Coach Pa at their whiteout game. And it's about 110,000.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the state and the stands so close to bench. And then all you hear is like, we are Penn State. And I just thinking about that moment, you get like these goosebumps that run up. It was the craziest atmosphere. We got spanked. But it was
You got
like,
spanked. Wait.
it was, but like, once you experience that, you're like, all right, like this,
It's
you
a
know, like you'll
character
never
builder.
experience that again.
It's a character builder for sure.
Right. And you like, that's an image that will live with you forever. So I would say on the collegiate level, that was obviously awesome.
Well, let me
My
ask
daughter
you,
was
Rob.
offered,
I'm sorry, say again?
No, I was just saying my daughter was offered to go to Penn State. That was actually her
Okay.
7th offer.
It's
Well,
a
Rob,
it's a
I
awesome,
gotta
it's a
ask
whole,
you.
it's
They're
a
great for
whole
nursing.
city.
That's where I'm from Pennsylvania. Like I'm from New York and then I moved to Pennsylvania and then I moved
Rod,
to
the
Florida.
truth comes out.
Listen,
The
no,
truth.
Rob.
So
I
much,
gotta go
so
back.
much for loyalty, huh?
Hold on, we're talking
Listen,
about
you're not trying to let me get this question out.
Listen, if you haven't traveled, have you really lived? Come on.
There you go.
talking about upstate New York, and here we are. We got a Pennsylvania girl.
Come on
You guys
now.
are-
That lives
Hey,
in
cut me
Florida.
You
some
know, she
slack.
was quiet.
That wasn't my choice.
It wasn't mine either. It was my wife's.
Look, hey, look, life be life, right?
That part.
Oh, man. I'm going to let that question go, man. I'm going to let it go.
And
I was
Rob
gonna
is
ask
even
you,
worse.
dude.
He
No,
went
no,
from
no,
New
no.
York to Florida, so he's more of a Floridian than a New Yorker. Don't
That's
let him
true.
fool you.
Ooh.
I hear the accent.
What?
The Florida accent be showing up.
See, now he's
Hey,
quiet.
look, I'll be proud to say, listen, I'll be proud to say I'm a Floridian right now. 30 years and going. Let's go.
Hold up. Now I know you lying. Because
Right.
every time
Okay.
I talk to you at 5:30 in the afternoon, when you're in that Floridian traffic, now I know you lying. I won't say what you be saying on that phone, but I just want to put it out.
I got some of them conversations recorded. Upload them to the pod at the end.
This is PG.
All right. So
Oh, man.
I definitely enjoy having both of you guys on here today. Definitely enjoy Bianca and also
Thank you so much for having me.
here. And how can people get connect with you guys? Just wanted to ask.
So right now my Instagram is sunnyb_FL. That's more real estate based, but I do post a lot of content for flag football. My communication, like my flag football, like knowledge and everything like that, is more in person. I also like to feel the vibe of like certain people because you don't know if people are just scoping out your knowledge or if they're actually interested in growing the game. So, but I would say that could be a starting point because that's an open page.
Right.
Jam Sports Agency. You can go on social platforms, the website, inquiries, whole 9 yards. And if you're going to Summer League, I'll see you at Summer League.
Okay.
Some of these, there you go.
Again, I want to say definitely thank you for joining the Off the Bench podcast. It definitely was great to hear your stories and all the information for our listeners. And definitely wanted to tell everybody thank you for watching this podcast and stay off the bench.
Thank y'all for
Right,
watching.
RASI Sports.
RASI
Subscribe and
Sports.
like, people. Subscribe and like.
Subscribe, like, and subscribe.
Ron's going to find you.
a canvas, what is the pain? Every thought leaves a visible trace. I shape the room before I arrive. What I believe is already alive. Yeah. Silent decisions echo out loud. Kingdoms are built in the space of a doubt. Yeah. Corresponding sky in the mirror, mirroring me. Same design, different degrees. Every direction knows my name. Nothing separates, just rearrange. As above, so below, I see it clear. Every motion pulls me near. Truth don't hide, it overflows. One love speaking in different tones. Vibration, hear different tones. Vibration and polarity. Nothing stands still, even the stone. Every stillness is movement slowed. Heat turns cold with the change in view. Love and fear share a common root. I don't fight it, I shift the scale. Same rail carries heaven and hell. Waves come back like a breath returned. High tides teach what the low tides learn. I don't rush what is meant to swing. I bend with the arc of everything. As above, so below align. Every echo lands on time. Truth don't shout, it softly flows. Seven faces, thus one code exposed. Nothing random, no loose to see. Decide what the garden set for. Sipping form in a sacred dance by and womb. In every chance creation hums in a balanced flame. Two hands shaping the same name. I move aware, I move precise. Living low, not rolling dice. Read the signs, the pattern shows.